Hello and welcome back to another video where today I will be going over what I personally think Assassin's Creed Infinity will be. So we don't actually know a huge deal about Infinity, but we can infer stuff from what has been said officially about the game by Ubisoft and also by other external sources. So to start off, I'm going to say what we actually know about the game. The first thing is that we know it is a live service game, and we know that Montreal and Quebec are combining their teams to make Infinity to quote unquote unify the series. Not quite sure what that means, but we do know that Quebec is taking charge over Montreal. Some people won't be happy with this because those of you who don't know, Quebec made Syndicate and Odyssey. People have problems with those games. But looking at Montreal's last release, which was Valhalla, I'm quite glad that Quebec is taking charge, because don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Valhalla, but I just feel like it was too big and I just found it quite boring. Like, I've had the game since release and I haven't finished it yet, so that's telling you something. And the last thing we know for certain is that the game will release maybe 2024, 2025. The reason I say maybe is because they didn't give us a concrete release year. Okay, so now let's get into speculation territory. So as the game is a live service game, which as you don't know, Marvel's Avengers is also a live service game, I mean how well that turned out, I think that there won't just be one time period in this game like it has been in previous games. I think the fact that it's a live service game means that we can get different time periods in one game. So maybe at launch it would just be one time period with, say, a fairly large map, and then maybe as the months and years go on, we can revisit some of the older time periods. I think that would be pretty cool. I do personally think that Ubisoft will stick with the RPG mechanic. Maybe not fully, maybe they'll change it somehow, but I do think Infinity will follow the RPG system, as Valhalla is the highest selling game in the Assassin's Creed series. So I think Ubisoft are going to look at it and go, this is what people liked, let's do it again. Which I'm a bit iffy about, because I like the RPG system, but I also do prefer the older way that games like 4 and Syndicate and 2 were done, where it was more stealth focused and less RPG focused. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions. Something that I would be interested to see is if the game does have different time periods, like I think, how will we go about choosing which one? Like, will it be a similar thing that we saw at the start of Unity, where there was a screen of all different time periods, you can click on which one? I think that would be a pretty cool way of doing it. Or maybe it'll be like, you go into a central game lobby and then there are different rooms that lead you to it. I'm not sure. Or maybe it'll be like a different animus takes you a different time period. It'll be interesting to see how you actually access the different time periods, because surely, I mean, you can do it from one animus, but I think going through menus might be a bit unintuitive, so maybe the helix way from Unity would be a good idea. Going back to the idea of Infinity possibly having different time periods in the game, I think that would be a very good idea, and if they don't do it, then they are very silly, as I know quite a lot of people want a Bayek sequel, and if Montreal wasn't going to make a whole new game of them, then they could do like a smaller story inside of Infinity, and also it'll be a good way to revisit previous Assassins that maybe possibly wouldn't get another game. Like myself personally, I would love to see Jacob and Evie again, also Victorian London, because those of you unaware, I am a huge fan of Victorian London and just the Victorian time in general. So for me, Victorian era would be a great time to go back and delve into again. Maybe it could be set in between Syndicate and the Jack the Ripper DLC, as we know that Jacob and Evie and Henry went to India, and then Jacob came back with Jack, and we could probably maybe have like a training thing, I'm not sure, but I think revisiting some more time periods would be good. Also, we could maybe have like a whole scenario where we play as Aya from Origins, as she was originally supposed to be the main character, but for some reason the Ubisoft higher ups were like, women don't sell well, which is very silly because just look at Tomb Raider and Horizon. But yeah, I think visiting different time periods would be a very, very good idea. In the statement that Ubisoft put out regarding Infinity, they said about unifying the series. Now, I'm not fully sure what they mean by that. Maybe they just mean the fact that they were combining their two main studios. But even though they've combined the studios, Quebec is taking the lead. So I'm quite confused by the unify the series slogan or title that they've said. I'll be quite interested to see how that will actually end up. And my last point before I leave is that I do strongly believe that microtransactions will be in the game as they've been in previous Assassin's Creed games. I think starting more prominently in Unity and obviously in Syndicate, and then also when we get to the RPG games like Origins, Odyssey and Valhalla, you could get like XP boosts and money boosts and get different packs that customise your steeds and stuff like that. So I definitely do see microtransactions being a part of Infinity, which I'm not too pleased about. But that's all I have for this video. If you've liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in another video.